Welcome back to the Stitches Malone podcast. And the last podcast I did was talking about AI music or AI song creation. And I said I was going to come back and we was going to go through that. And we're still going to do that, but not right now. I have something that another subject in the AI music that I want to discuss, because I watch on YouTube these videos, talking about AI slop, AI isn't real music, AI this, AI that, everybody's AI butt hurt. Well, the problem's not AI, okay? The real issue in the whole thing is control. That's why you're starting to see the big record labels and the big music industry people are starting to put money into the AI and backing the AI and making partners with AI companies like BMG just made a partnership with Suno. So, that's what this video is about, and it's my thoughts on it because it's kind of silly, because the backlash against AI music is growing louder as AI generated songs become more convincing and accessible. Some of the critics argue that AI music is fake, uncreative, or inherently harmful to human artists. Okay. And others believe it should not even be considered music at all. It's not music. There are legitimate concerns surrounding intellectual property, theft, unauthorized sampling, cloning of the artist's voice is one that's, people do, or their likeness. And those concerns, they deserve attention. But, I believe that artists should have meaningful control over the commercial use of their recordings, their identities, and all their original work. I mean, I believe that they should have control over that. They created it. But copyright disputes didn't begin when AI became about. Artists, producers, record labels, corporations, they've been fighting over songwriting credits, stolen melodies, unauthorized samples, licensing requirements, and unpaid royalties for generations, as long as I can remember. And this is why we have copyright laws. We have music attorneys. We have licensing organizations. And we have court systems. That's why all these, regulatory bodies exist. Because there are people that are, dishonest or, don't want to play by the rules. So, you have to deal with them. So now AI might introduce new versions of these disputes, but AI didn't invent them. They've always been here. I mean, it's just AI is another evolution in music. That's what music is. It's an evolution. But anyway, so if it's not the AI the problem, then what is the problem? Well, the problem is really about control. I mean, much of the backlash is not simply about what AI allows people to create. It is about who controls the ability to create, publish, distribute, and profit from music. And for decades, okay, these big record labels, publishing companies, studios, radio networks, streaming platforms, they've acted like gatekeepers. and they help determine which artists receive contracts, whose songs reach the public, and which sounds were promoted as legitimate. So, and what the problem is AI music, the tools that we use and to create AI music, it disrupts that system. So someone with an expensive studio, industry connections, or a record deal can now turn an idea into a finished song, and a songwriter who cannot sing or hear their lyrics performed because they'd have to pay people to come do it, and they might. This way, you can do samplings, different revisions. You know, and I think AI over the long haul will actually improve the quality of music if it's used as a tool. I mean, now there's some people out here, they go on Suno, they put in a prompt, they hit the button and just keep hitting the button and just keep. And that's why Suno had to put the new rules they got coming out in place, because people mass producing hundreds and hundreds of songs and uploading them onto Spotify, and that I mean, anytime you misuse something and it becomes a problem, then the people are going to regulate it. That's just the way it's going to be, and that's the way it always has been. So then again, it's not AI that created this. There's one common denominator in all of this, though. You know what it is? People. Okay. Also, AI is good for like people with physical limitations. They can participate in music creation in ways that they might not be able to do otherwise. So, and that accessibility, the internet, the AI tools, people, can get their stuff out there, and the big record labels and companies don't have control of that. So that is what threatens them. It threatens their systems of control. So just like when you had independent artists that came out on YouTube, that threatened their systems of control. So, and when you threaten the gatekeeper, I mean, it's not the same as threatening the music. That's who you should be threatening, is the gatekeeper. But not the music. In all kinds of forms and walks of life and different situations, the problem's always the victim. So, and that was making me think about the concept of music. I mean, no one owns the concept of music. I mean, not a person, a company, not an institution. The basic concept of music is there for people to create. I mean, music is being created by people, and over the centuries or generations, the people have adopted and adapted to new tools to make the sound. Okay? And music has always evolved alongside technology. I mean, you have, but one time electric guitars was treated as a threat to traditional music. Where they use an acoustic guitar. Now you got an electric one. Drum machines were accused of replacing drummers. Synthesizers, they were dismissed as artificial. And then what we're talking about? Oh, so I guess AI is not new to it. And you had sampling. Okay, they condemned that before becoming one of the foundations of modern music. And you remember, and people that followed music, you can remember back in the 80s and 90s of the sampling wars. They were fighting over the samples. This one stole this one's sample. This one did that. You have it right now. What's it? Blake Shelton saying Jelly Roll stole something from one of his songs. So, I mean, that's just, it's always been there. But, I mean, AI is the next big thing they don't have control over. They thought they had control over. They got control over it. And then the internet made them lose that control a little bit that they still had. And they feel like it's slipping away. So now they're going to throw billions of dollars at it and try to control it. That's just what these places do. A lot of these influencers and people you see on the internet talking this junk, a lot of them are, they're biased. Some of them are paid to spew propaganda against it. That's, there's more against it than it is for it. And, I'm for AI. Now, I'm not for people going out here and, cramming song lyrics and Suno and trying to make a better version of a song that's already there. No, I mean, I'm for you create the concept, you create the lyrics, you create the music style, and then you have AI assist you in creating the song. Just like, songwriters or musicians that sing and don't write songs. They have ghostwriters assist them in writing songs that they perform as theirs. So, and then all them tools people used to use, like I said, synthesizers, sampling, digital recording, pitch correction, beat making software, home studios, they all, faced resistance when they came out with, you had remember back in the day, it was Fruity Loops, and the other one that's not used that much, I even have a lifetime subscription to, Reaper. And you got Pro Tools. I mean, you just got so many DAWs and workstations that, who really, if you want to think about it, that's really 100% creator of their music is like groups like Home Free. Have you heard them? They're a cappella group. They make all the sounds, but they're still using digital technology to interface that, mix it, master it. So, I mean, so the bottom line is, music has always been collaborative, okay? You've seen these people want to paint you a picture of a musician writing every word, playing every instrument, producing every track, and performing everything live. Has never represented the entire music business. Now there are artists that does that, has done that. I mean, I've watched many of them do it. But many successful performers use songwriters, co-writers, producers, session musicians, engineers, arrangers, sampled loops, programmed drums, digital effects, pitch correction, pre-recorded backing tracks. Some artists perform songs written entirely by other people, which that's where a ghostwriter thing came in. And there's some that build careers around a public image while they have large creative teams behind the scenes creating everything. They're just a mouthpiece. So, and that doesn't make their music illegitimate. It just demonstrates that music is usually a collaborative process. Okay? If an artist uses a ghostwriter, a purchase beat, a sample library, auto-tune, or a team of producers, it is difficult to argue that an independent creator becomes illegitimate simply because AI was one of the tools used in the process. It doesn't even make sense. Okay? Because there's too many parallels to the real, the traditional way of creating music and to this way. These music, the artists should be the ones worried because you got record labels and producers buying into AI. So what do you think, artists that's on the big record label, they could hire people that can create an AI artist that'll sound better than you and work a whole lot cheaper. It's facts. So, right, and well, you should be asking yourself in the creative process of, even if somebody uses AI, so like when I write a song, who develops that concept? I do. Who directs the creative process? I do. Are there any protected works or identities used without permission? No. Was the final product presented honestly? Yes. Because everything that I put up that's AI is labeled as that. And did the creator add meaningful human judgment? Okay, that can be subjective, but that's what you really need to ask about anything that's created. Okay, AI don't eliminate human creativity. Now, typing a few words into a generator can produce audio, but producing audio is not necessarily the same as developing a strong song or building an artist. Like, I have 2 AI persona artists that I've created, okay, and that I write songs for. And I'm not just out here spamming the create button to just create stuff. And that's where it comes into the quality. The more effort and time you put into anything, the better outcome you're going to get. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay? Because human decisions still shape the subject, lyric, structure, emotion, vocal character, the arrangement, genre, pacing, revisions, artwork, presentation, and final release. Which is exactly what human artists do. And so a serious AI creator, such as myself, I believe to be serious about it. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. And we generate numerous versions. I might generate 25 or 30 versions of one song. I might make 5 or 6 versions of the chorus or one of the verses, just because I want it to sound a certain way. All of my songs send a message. That's my deal with music. I like sending a message, telling a story. Okay? And until it sounds right in my head, I don't care whether it sounds right in anybody else's head. All right? Because for one, I make these songs because I like them. Okay? Because I don't like the human slop that's out there. So, so that brings it down to the choices that an AI creator makes in how it's just like anything else. He can make the choice to be lazy and just generate low quality songs, or they can make the choice to put some time and effort into it and make something that sounds sounds good. I mean, but that's all perspective. What sounds good to you might not sound good to me, and vice versa. I mean, and I mean, just like a camera can take a picture, but does that make every photographer's pictures as good as the last ones because they used the camera? Music software and DAWs can produce thousands of sounds, but it doesn't guarantee that the music that's generated from that makes a powerful record. Just like, AI can generate possibilities, but someone must still decide what deserves to exist and what should be discarded. So somebody makes that. When I do mine, I make 2 songs at a time. I generate 2 songs. I listen to both of the songs. Okay. If they're not what I want, then I discard both of them. I go change what I need to change where I need to change it, and then I do it again. And then if I find one that sounds like it's going down the right track of where I want the song to go, then I'll get rid of the one that doesn't, keep that one, and then generate again. And then see that your AI is learning, so it'll start generating it. If you keep generating it over and like that without changing the prompt, it'll start generating it more towards that. So, actually get in. Some of these people, I bet, never even tried to get into and actually do a song, a complete song, from the time they thought about it in their head until it came out as a finished song. A lot of people don't like AI. That's their, they don't have to listen to it. I mean, some people like Taylor Swift, and I won't listen to it. So, and ethical boundaries still matter. Just because I'm pro AI assisted music creation, that doesn't mean I'm defending every use of AI. I mean, AI can be used nefariously, just as anything else can. You shouldn't be cloning recognizable artist's voice without consent, and then misleading listeners into believing that artist performed a song. That crosses an ethical line. And, feeding copyrighted works or recordings into a commercial system without authorization, that's probably some kind of legal concerns, I'm sure. So reasonable rules should protect creators without giving corporations permanent control over the music styles, genres, techniques, or general artistic ideas. A practical system should focus on consent, attribution, licensing, deceptive impersonation, and commercial exploitation. Not on banning technology or declaring that AI-assisted creators are not artists or not creative. So it would be nice if we could just let the audience decide. So, listeners, that's who decides the music that connects with them. So, if I make a song I like and one more person likes it, then that song was successful to me. I'm not here trying to make songs that go viral and make money, because this type of music I like is not the viral type going songs, I don't think. There's not a big target. People like that old poppy, Taylor Swift, that kind of, I just ain't into it. And, I'd rather listen to, most of the music I listen to is AI. I mean, I create songs that I like to listen to. I have other AI content creators or music creators that create songs that I like. That's why I have two AI artists with channels, and I do music for both channels. They're just getting started. I only got 287 subscribers on the big channel. That's what the other channel's only got like 72. But I've got songs that have 7,000 views. So, whatever. I got songs got 20 views. I got songs got 1,500 views. It's just, let the audience decide. If you're making crap songs and people don't like it, then they won't listen to it. And if you want to keep making crap songs that nobody listens to, that's your business. I don't care. You can go right ahead. I mean, people think my songs are crap. And you know what? I don't care. That's not my thing. A lot of people, they like instrumentals. They like traditional recordings, electronic music, sample production, virtual performance, AI. People like AI. So, but creators should also be transparent on how their work is made. Any song I have published anywhere or posted up anywhere in my channels, it all says it's AI. It's not trying to be not AI. I think AI needs to become its own niche, or and separate it. Have your human slop over here and your AI slop over here, and whoever wants whatever slop you want today, that's where you go, trough you go to. That's all I know how to do. But that doesn't mean AI music should be disqualified just because it was created differently. The history of music is the history of people using new tools to express old emotions in new ways. This really isn't that hard for people to see. I think most people are trolling or they're whichever side they're on, trying to make their money. That's what it's all about. It's the money. It's the control. That's what they want. So, it's always been the same. It's always going to be the same. AI didn't destroy creativity. It expanded access to the creative process. Actually, the real challenge of this is ensuring that artists' rights are respected without allowing fear or having established gatekeepers or corporate interests to decide who is permitted to make music. Music belongs to human expression, not to one industry, one technology, or one approved method of creation. It's just everybody is allowed to create music. People want to always take stuff that's a creative process, an idea, and they want to control it. Well, that's the way it always is. Probably the way it's always going to be. I believe I've rambled enough. Almost 30 minutes, and I didn't want to go over 30 minutes. I'm at 29 minutes. So that's just my little rant. If you stayed and listened to the whole thing, I appreciate it. Most of you probably clicked off right away. That's fine too. And until the next time, which I'm probably when I come back, the next video, we need to go through and see. I want to show people the process I use to actually create a song. It's not just about typing in a few words and pushing a button. But until the next time, I appreciate you watching the Stitches Malone podcast. And I'm out of here.